Evening. It is now 6:30, and so we want to be respectful of your time and go ahead and begin our meeting. I would love to thank whoever changed the clock to the right time because that had been throwing me off. So I guess when the time changed, we got that worked out. Right, Mr. Superintendent, do we have any public comments or presentations?
Having a public comments and presentations. We do have a presentation by Ms. Amber Herring. She's the new coordinator for instructional innovation, and she'll be giving a brief presentation on how we plan to harness, leverage the power of artificial intelligence. And so, without further ado, here is Ms. Herring.
Good evening. Good evening. I'm nervous, but I'm excited to talk to you guys a little bit about our plans for leveraging AI in our district. We know that it is here, and so we're going to tackle it head on and start to use it here in our district. So the first thing we have is everything is in draft form right now, but the first thing is our tentative mission and vision statement. The Dougherty County School System fosters a collaborative and inclusive educational environment that integrates innovative AI technologies and digital literacy, empowering every student to reach their full potential. Our vision statement: transforming the Dougherty County School System into a pioneering and inclusive educational hub, leveraging artificial intelligence to enrich learning experiences, empower educators, and equip students with the skills and knowledge necessary to thrive in a digital society. So today I just wanted to give you a quick overview of some of the plans that myself and Mr. Dyer have talked about. So the first thing is just what is AI, some examples of AI in education, why should we be using it, things to consider, what the teachers are saying already about AI, and then our policy and guidelines. So the first thing is, what is an artificial intelligence? Artificial intelligence is the use of computer systems to simulate human mental processes, such as interpreting and generating language. What artificial intelligence is not? AI is not magic. Magic is mysterious and cannot be understood or controlled. AI is neither of these things. The more we seek to understand the concepts behind AI, the better we will be able to control it and use it for constructive purposes in education. It's also important to remember that AI is not human intelligence, and it does not possess emotions, consciousness, or inherent ethical judgment. Some examples in AI in education: chatbots, which is one of the most popular ones, smart assistants, automated grading, smart content creation, augmented and virtual reality, personalized learning, adaptive learning, intelligent tutoring, text editors, and learning analytics. So why should we be using AI? According to the Teacher Burnout Report in Georgia, released in June of 2022, 5 theme areas emerged from the small and whole group task force member discussions: assessment, preserving and protecting time, pressures and unrealistic expectations, teacher voice and professional growth, and mental wellness, health and wellness. And the 3 that stood out that AI can help are the ones I put in bold: preserving and protecting time, teacher voice and professional growth, and mental health and wellness. AI can revolutionize education by automating administrative tasks, providing personalized professional development, amplifying teacher voice in educational discourse, and offering support for mental health through wellness tools for teachers and students, thereby saving time and enriching the teaching experience. And being over, having done a lot of PLs with our teachers, the one thing that they always say is that they don't have enough of is time. So this is something that can help them leverage, get some of that time back. So here's some other practical uses of AI. Efficiency in administrative tasks, so grading, creating lesson plans, giving them ideas generators. Accessibility, AI can help with our special ed teachers to create IEPs and personalized learning plans for students. It can help create behavior intervention plans. And we know that our students with disabilities population is being served to the best of their abilities, but we also know that special education teachers are very hard to find. So trying to automate some of those tasks for them is another thing that AI can do. Enhance engagement, so giving teachers some ideas to do more engagement with their students, and then personalized learning. Some of the tools that we've already started training on, Magic School AI, which is a teaching assistant, but has multiple tools, help with lesson planning and other things. EduAid, which is a lesson planning and other, has other teaching assistant tools. Diffit.me, which is really for reading, any teacher that includes reading in their assignments, it levels the reading. So if you have students who are not reading on grade level, it will level that grade, the text down to make that content accessible for that student. TWE, which is also for English teachers, it can take an AI or a YouTube video and create questions for it. QuestionWell, a question generator. CuraPod is an AI-powered interactive slides creator. Conquer AI is a quiz creator where you can get questions. And PixArt is an AI image generator. So what does this have, what impact does this have on students? Integrating AI into education equips students with the critical thinking, problem solving, and technological skills they need to thrive in a future where AI is an integral part of the workforce and daily life. So you can see on the right how AI is is projected to affect the job market in all of these different areas. And then also we have a pilot at Albany Middle where those students will be learning about what AI is, the skills on how to use it, and even how to start building things. These are some of the programs that we have already adopted, teachers are already using that have integrated AI tools in them. So I put the Trusted Ed apps there. All of these, with the exception of Canva, have been vetted by our IT department, and our teachers are already familiar with using these tools. Here are some things to consider, and this is something that we will definitely make sure that we stress to our teachers as we teach them how to leverage AI. AI is an assistant that helps you generate a first draft. Oftentimes, it needs a lot or a little of tweaking. Never use your first draft as your final draft. Lesson plans generated for teachers solely by AI are not tuned to specific students in your school or the specific communities they come from. So they need to be personalized, and our teachers need to make sure that their voice is being heard through the lesson plans. The plan will lack the personality of the teachers themselves. So again, going back and tweaking those things and making it yours is going to be imperative. And then don't count on AI lesson plans without a human in the loop. So that is our big thing that we're going to be pushing, making sure that our teachers are not relying solely on the AI, but really as an assistant to help them with generate some new ideas. On October 11th, I did a PL with teachers on the EduAid platform for lesson planning, to help them lesson plan, and this was some of the feedback that we got. This is an excellent presentation and tool for teachers who are new to the field or may need additional assistance with lesson planning. The information received will be useful. It will help me with instruction and address the many learning styles of all my students. It needs to be mandatory for all teachers to hear this presentation. It may assist with the teacher turnover in the district by showing teachers how to teach the standards effectively while helping the student engagement. I can't wait to share this information. I'm going to use this assessment and strategies to help teachers plan. I know 3rd through 5th grade ELA teachers will enjoy using the writing feedback feature. I'm excited about the work and how it will transform education in our building. Best PL I've ever been to, and then provided great information that will help move my SEBD kids to a different level. This training explains the use of technology that will also help solve some problems with creating activities in the classroom. Trainings like these need to be mandatory because this wave is the future. As far as district policy, we have some things already that are in draft and will be ready for board consideration in the next couple of months. We want to get some stakeholder input on them before we bring them for you all to look at, but they are being worked on, and I'm very excited to lead this charge in the district because, again, this is the wave of the future. Thank you guys so much for your time.
Are there any questions? Does anyone have any questions? Yep. Oh yeah, don't run away. Don't go away yet.
Yeah, we have that for we already have third-party data policies. So every vendor that we use, every vendor that we use that gets our student data, they have to abide by our privacy policy.
Thank you.
And one thing Ms. Herring did a wonderful job, and I sat in on the PL that she provided in October. Made me want to go teach, and I thought about it. I got too excited. I sat back down. But one thing she said that I think she was a little off on. She said it's the wave of the future. It's here. it's gonna get even more intense in the future, but it's here. And if she had time, I would have loved for her to be able to demonstrate some of the features that we can use. So what we'll do, I know Miss Cutler went to the last PL in October. Our next one is January, so we'll let you know. We may even schedule a brief demonstration so you'll get an understanding of what it can do, and because it is very powerful. Thank you, Ms. Herring.
Welcome. I am redoing the same training in January as well, so if you want to come and see it.
No,
Thank you.
And Coach, how you doing back there? There's Miss Coach Aaron from Monroe. How you doing? And their crew.
glad y'all are here. Your support team. One thing I wanted to ask was, I mean, this is talking about the teachers. How do we protect the integrity of students' work? And that's a whole. It's like it's opened, with everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm creating some templates for schools to use for teacher use or for student use as well. It's interesting because this week is Ethics Awareness Month. I'm also in school myself, and on the Valdosta website, it has all the things in there regarding AI and the use of AI. So I'm drafting some sample templates for principals to be able to use and implement at their schools on what they want teacher or students to be able to have access to, whether they're going to be, allowed to do it for some things or only allowed to do it in certain activities or not at all. So that's all being drafted.
How we can monitor that and detect it.
Right. Right.
So that's all great.
Madam
Thank you
Chair.
so much. Yes, ma'am. Please.
Just one word. As leaders in the area, it's going to be incumbent upon us to help our children, our young scholars, understand the significance of privacy rights and boundaries. And so we have to help teach them to assist us in protecting them as well.
Right.
I just wanted to mention that. Thank you.
For sure.
Thank you again.
Thank you.
And Madam Chair, board members, if you don't mind, just a few things. Some districts, when AI came out, they banned it, and because they thought it was going to be the downfall of education, much like they did when calculators were introduced, and much like they did when Google came on the scene. You can't be afraid of technology. It's here. You have to embrace it, and we think that the best approach is to use it as a tool, show teachers how to properly use it, and how to structure lessons so that we can leverage it, help students use it properly, teach them digital citizenship, and we may have to look at doing things a little differently when we do assignments. You may have to have writing assignments in class, versus doing papers at home, because you can put the paper, AI do it and turn it in. But if you can do some of the work in the classroom, and you write the paper in the classroom, then you can see what students can actually do. Because we can lock down the browser so you won't be able to get to the app. So it's certain things like that. That's one simple approach. But we have other things we have in place that help guide teachers in that regard. And Ms. Herring said a few things. Keeping the human in the loop. AI does not do the work for you. It assists you with doing the work, makes it more efficient. It's certainly going to help our novice teachers. We have a lot of teachers that we've said who come to education now from pathways that are not through teacher ed departments or schools of education, so they don't know how to do lesson planning and things of that nature. So EduAid .ai can help you do that. Magic School .ai was one she showed, but she didn't talk a lot about. That can help you as well, help teachers as well. Not only novice teachers, but teachers who struggle a little bit with ideas about lessons they can provide. Special education teachers, it's a struggle. You know, that's our largest gap in terms of the need and what we have on staff. Doing IEPs, most of the teachers say they love working with the students. It's the paperwork that they don't like. So it can help you be more efficient writing IEPs and more consistent with IEPs throughout the district. So we are certainly pleased with the direction that we're going. We're one of the few districts in the state, in the country, that has a person dedicated to developing AI. We thank the board for your foresight in allowing this to happen and funding it, and we think we're going to get a great return on it. One other thing I wanted to mention: we talk about the impact of COVID, particularly on reading levels and things of that nature. If curriculum is written on grade level, on 5th grade reading level, in the 5th grade, but you're reading on the 3rd grade level because you struggle, it's hard for you to comprehend the content. So if you can't comprehend the content, you won't be able to understand it. So when she mentioned, I think different AI, a different me, it's really differentiation. And so when you put the lesson in this program, or this tool, it will level it to the grade level that the student is reading on, so that way they can understand it. And just because they struggle reading for the moment, they won't hinder their ability to grasp concepts at a higher grade level. So these are some things that is not just some fun and games. It's really a powerful tool that we can use. Ms. Herring is going to help us harness that, focus that with the steering committee and advisory group, and I'm looking forward to seeing some great things in the future. So thank you, Ms. Herring. We appreciate that. And I coach, congratulations on a good season. Made the playoffs. I watched it online, and we got them next year. Yes, sir. We getting better every year, so we appreciate that. All right. That's all I have, Madam Chair. And a couple of Lake Park students back there, right? All right.
Thank y'all for being here, and certainly you feel free to go anytime. I know it's a school night, so.
Yeah. I mentioned you can leave if you want. You can stay. Feel free to stay, but I know you have school tomorrow, so we don't want to be offended if you step out. Mom and dad duty come first.
All right. Next, we're going to review the agenda items to give board members an opportunity to ask questions or make comments. Are there any questions on the agenda? Okay. Approval of the minutes, consideration of approval of the minutes from the regular board meeting held on October 26, 2023. Any questions or comments? Item number 2, consideration of recommendation for employment of personnel. Item 3, consideration of recommendation for release of personnel.
Madam Chair, it's not a question, but a comment and observation. I was just surprised to see that Mr. Northley was leaving the system. He did a good presentation in our last board meeting, and this month he is leaving the district. So, just
he had an opportunity. He had an opportunity a little closer to his family in middle of Georgia. And once he had an opportunity in Savannah a couple years ago, when he decided to stay here because it was about the same distance from his family. So this one was a little closer to his family. So he decided to leave. Of course, it's December 31st, so we'll be advertising for that position and hopefully have some overlap. And he's agreed to support from afar while we do that transition. So he's a bad employee. I hate to see him leave. We were able to keep him one time, but when he got to get closer to his kids, it's hard to match that. Yeah.
Madam Chair, I see we are losing our assistant transportation director also.
Yeah, he is does it have resignation or retirement on there? I think he has 10 years. Didn't he have 10 years? So that should be retirement. He retired military, and then he's been with the TRS for 10 years. So he hit his 10-year mark at the end of December.
Right back.
Yeah, so it should be retirement, right? And actually, he was commuting. Wasn't he commuting every day from Columbus? Yeah.
Oh, that is not that's
Right,
not really
right.
commutable.
Right. Yeah.
Not long term.
Yeah. Right.
Okay. Item number 4, consideration of recommendation for surplus furniture. Item number 5, consideration of recommendation to approve the following consent items. 5A, fundraising request. And 5B, out-of-state field trips.
And I don't want to comment, Madam Chair. Well, we received one out-of-state field trip request and one fundraising request later today, and I didn't feel comfortable giving it to you without. I think I gave you about 12 of you time to look at it. I don't want to bring it on you, so it was okay. We'll email it to you and get consent because they both happen before the next board meeting. I don't want to give you time to look. I didn't want to just bring it to you at the meeting and give it to you.
Sure.
Time to look over it, so we'll do that tomorrow. If that's okay.
Yep, everybody be on the lookout for those in your email. Item 6, financial reports.
Couple of comments there. Of course, the last fiscal year we had a revenue over expenditures of about $3 million, which brought our fund balance to about $41.25 million at the end of last fiscal year. This year we're projecting to be about 2.25 in reserve, using reserves by about 2.25. Currently, as we project, it'll be about 1.7, but that'll be refined as we go through the year, and some of the vacant positions that we have, we lapse those salaries. But just want to again recognize Ms. Hatcher and her team for the great work they're doing, and the challenges are not non-existent. We still have challenges as we discussed beginning January. The state health benefits plan increase will take effect for our classified employees. We don't get reimbursed from the state. We don't get benefit from the state for our state health for our classified employees, and that's going from about $11,000 a year to about $19,000 a year, just the employer portion of the match. So when we look at the employees who participate in that impact is about $4.7 million per year once it's been for the full year. This fiscal year we'll only see about half of that because it takes effect in January. But just to keep things in perspective, the $3 million revenue over expenditures last year, if everything else stayed the same, we had a full year of state health benefit increase, we would have been in the whole $1.7 billion. So I'm fully confident. I don't know if Ms. Hatcher is listening, but I'm fully confident she'll come up with a solution pretty soon. Now, seriously though, we are looking at options. We've been talking at the state. As a matter of fact, the conversation that we had at the governor's roundtable when we had the pleasure of sitting on that, we talked about phasing it in over, and not because we were supposed to have it all hit this year, fiscal year. So they did half this year, looking at giving us an opportunity to phase it in fully next year. That's certainly going to help. We also look at some other things that are not tied to state health, But transportation, for example, if you look at the expenditures we have for transportation, we anticipate spending about $7 million in transportation. We get funded less than $2 million from the state. So because of the formula that's outdated, and so what we're looking at we're having conversations about modernizing the funding formula. So although it wouldn't fund state health benefits for the classified employees, it would fund areas that we're taking a lot of local funds to make up the difference, and we can use those funds then to support the increase in state health. So we're having some discussions, and I think by the time we get through the budget cycle for FY25, we'll have some a better handle on how we're going to move forward in terms of state funding and in terms of recommendations locally. I just want to give you that input. And I know our finance committee chair will be heavily engaged and involved in as we move forward.
Item number 7, committee reports. And item number 8, any, Mr. Superintendent, are you ready to give your report?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'm not going to be as good as Ms. Herring, but I'll try. All right. November 13th, superintendent update. We'll talk about our strategic plan update, focus on academic rigor and relevance in our family community engagement, status of update on property tax exemption for seniors. As I promised, we have an update this month, and then celebrations, announcements, and other information. Of course, our vision is to be a destination school system that, in partnership with families and community stakeholders, provides education and social development experiences that empower our graduates to be successful and impactful contributors to society. Our mission is to meet the academic and non-academic needs of our students with rigorous and relevant educational experiences that equip them to succeed in life. Of course, you know our strategic plan and the 5 tenets of our strategic plan: early literacy, academic rigor and relevance for all students, social and emotional wellness, investment in human capital, and family community engagement or stakeholder engagement. This is the policy that the board adopted a few months ago about board governance, school board governance, and its relationship to accountability, and it fits in our academic rigor and relevance priority. I kept those just for information, but these other things we talked about: an aligned system of teaching and learning, accountability structure, and continuous improvement framework. And these are some of the things that are incorporated in our blueprint with an aligned system for teaching and learning standards, balanced instructional framework, equitable resources, a balanced assessment system, personalized learning and targeted instruction, and then instructional interventions. And as we move forward, this is a snapshot of the data that the board will be getting at least quarterly, approximately quarterly, as we look at information that's available to us based on student assessment data. At the last board meeting, you'll recall we mentioned several assessments that we provide, that we administer. The Beacon assessment is one, and DRC is the company that also developed the milestones. So the reason we like this assessment is that it's a good predictor of how students will perform on milestones. We administer this 3 times a year, once in the fall, once around mid-year, then once again in the spring prior to the administration of the milestones. And they have 3 levels in Beacon. One that says need support, the other is near target, the other one is prepared. Need support is self-explanatory. It talks about students who need support to get ready to be on the next grade level. Of course, near target means they're on track for being ready for the next grade level based on where they are in the year and how much time they have left in the year. And then prepared means they are ready for the next grade level. Inside those 3 grade bands, you have 3 categories. You have 3 bands: 1, 2, and 3. And these support 4, 5, and 6. And that means that's how far they inside those bands. Some people, they may be in near target. Some may be nearer than others. And that's how that works. and this is an explanation for those bands inside of those categories. And this is a snapshot of elementary data. This is things that we look at, and right now we put this information in manually. We're working with Midas. The board approved the contract with Midas a while back, and we're working on this being automated so that it's at the fingertips of our teachers and leaders whenever they need it on demand. We look at 3 administrations in fall 2021, 22, and 23 and do comparisons. So fall 21, you'll see that at the first administration, that's the one closest, farthest to the left, 53% of the students needed support in 3rd grade ELA. 47% were near target, and 1% was already ready for the next grade level. That's at the beginning of the year. As you go through the year, you'll see how it progressed, and that was the year immediately after we stopped with instruction in the fall of 20 with COVID, spring of 20, and that's the year after we had that.
Just for clarification, when we use the term proficient or reading on grade level, what does that fall under?
Well, that's the you will see near target means they're on grade level.
Okay.
See, when we look at, and I don't know why they did this, but when you look at the Georgia milestones, they have 4 areas:
Yeah.
beginning, developing, proficient, and you got it.
Last one.
Distinguished.
Distinguished,
I thought you almost 3 out of 4. That bad. But in this, they don't have 3.
Right.
Near target, need support, near target,
Yeah.
and then on at the target prepared rather. So they don't have 3 buttons. So you can't really.
Yeah.
It's not a direct, and I think they do that because they don't want you to think that that's how it's going to be. That's how it's going
Right.
to look. So they
Right.
give you. So if you look at the need support, those are probably going to be students that they're projecting to be beginning or developing.
Right.
And then in that near target, they'll probably be somewhere between developing and proficient.
Right.
And then prepared will be distinguished or proficient or distinguished.
Yeah.
That's usually how it works.
Right.
And if you look at the 3 bands inside those categories, you can probably get a better gauge of where they will be. That's the. Did I misspeak, Mr. Davis? That's about right. Okay. All right. So what we want to look at here is I want to look at, for comparison purposes, the fall data. We don't have the winter beacon assessment yet. That's going to be that December, January, Mr. Davis. December. That's how. Right. So if you look at the students who are near target and the students who are need support, look at the fall 21, fall 22. Although we saw an increase in the students who were near target and a decrease in the number of students who were prepared. You see a significant increase this fall. So that's an indication that the work that we're doing in terms of supporting our students and our teachers as they support our students is effective. So you'll see 80% are near target, which means they're on track for being prepared at the end of the year. And that's, as we all know, third grade literacy is a year that people say is a watershed year. That's if they're on grade level by grade 3, then they're far more likely to be successful. So that's exciting for us. We'll go through and look at. You'll see us similar in 3rd grade math. Math has been a sticking point, not just with Dougherty County school system, but across the state. We're looking at the literacy and numbers. 4th grade ELA. And I'm not so concerned about the green and the fall, because the green means they're prepared for the next grade already. And not many students will be prepared for the next grade of the fall administration. 4th grade math, you see the progress there. not as great as progress for third grade, but you'll see progress is still there's fifth grade math. And as you look at why math, why is the improvement not as great in math? We talked about earlier for the last couple of years with Bill Daggett when he spoke about the academic achievement, the average academic achievement and the academic achievement after COVID. And we talked about how reading levels were lower, but math was even worse because those skills in math build upon the skills you learn at lower grades. So if you don't acquire those skills at lower grades, it's harder to master as you go to the upper grades. So you'll see, but even with that, you still see that there's with twice as many students near target in fall 23 than we're near target in fall 21. So we're pleased with the direction. Are we pleased where we are? No, we are certainly pleased with the direction. And with introduction of tutor.com and iExcel, those resources that the board approved that provide support for students at home, we are able to extend the learning day and provide targeted support for those standards that students are not on grade level with. They can identify those specifically, and then they can work with the folks at tutor.com and with iExcel to work on those skills specifically. So we differentiate that, and if you look at our line system, teaching and learning, part of it said targeted support, and that's what that targeted support is. We identify inside these performance numbers, achievement numbers, where individual students are struggling, and we assign tutor.com and iExcel assignments based on those areas where they struggle. Updates, there have been some changes in ESSA and accountability calculations for the state. Information is embargoed as of now. It'll be released publicly in December, and we think it'll be prior to the next board meeting. So we'll share that information with you. Preliminary information, again, it looks similar to the Beacon information. The content mastery, the improvement in content mastery, the improvement in closing the gaps. That looks very good. I can't go into the specifics now, but it looks very good. Are we where we want to be on pure achievement? Not yet, but if we continue the trajectory that we're on, we'll be there very shortly. What we want to do is continue to monitor and effectively implement these initiatives and monitor these initiatives as we move forward to ensure they're hitting the right tone as we try to improve student achievement, support our students, support our teachers. We're going to continue to make data-informed decisions, and we're going to continue to provide data to support our schools. So it's not just about accountability. Of course, it is about accountability, but it's also about providing support for schools that's targeted and based on the data that we get from the assessment. Next, Georgia Power. You know, we have a partnership with Georgia Power. We have a $3 million grant over 4 years. I think we're in year 3 of that. And just want to give you an update on that. That level up piece where we it's family and community engagement. We talked about that before, providing students and families rather with opportunities to get job skills training in high demand career areas, and we've been able to do that. And we're going to have our 3rd completion ceremony, a graduation ceremony for our CNA program this Saturday at 2. And we have 12 in this cohort, and so we in the next cohort started today. So we're not having a lot of time because if we have a full cohort 12 is our max, and so it's 12 again, and so we're excited about that. These are the partners that participate with our Level Up initiative. Of course, Georgia Power is our funding partner. Auburn Technical College, Rated Trans, Marley Health Scrubs. She provides the uniforms for the once they complete. Integrity Healthcare Institute is actually providing the training, 818 Diagnostic Solutions. You may have heard me mention, well, you may remember me mentioning the phlebotomy training. They're providing the phlebotomy, if I'm not mistaken. And of course, our College and Career Academy. We're working with parents. These are CNAs, CNA training. We talk about phlebotomy. We talked about EKG reading. We're still working on commercial truck driving, commercial driver's license rather. We're trying to get that ready for January. But one thing we've done is work with College and Career Academy, Construction Ready program for adults. And we have 4 heavy equipment simulators at our College and Career Academy. So after hours, we will begin working with, how many is it, 8, Mr. Davis? 8, a cohort of 8, because we have 4 simulators, and so we have 4 people working on the computer on the academic part of the work, and then while I have 4 working on these simulators. And so they'll do that, and then once they get so many hours with the simulation, they'll go into the field. We have LRA constructors and some other companies who give them time in the field, and they'll be credentialed, NCCR certified in heavy equipment operations. And if you know anything about construction, you know those folks are in high demand. So these are some career opportunities for the adult family members of our students that can put them on a different in a different tax bracket, and provide some economic support for our families, for the families that we serve. And so when we talk about family community engagement, a lot of times we talk about sending notices home about English night or science night at a school, about PTO meeting, and that's certainly family engagement. It's a portion of family engagement, but it's not all. So we call it level up because we give the adult family members of our students an opportunity to level up their careers. But what we're doing, we're leveling up our engagement with our families, not just providing information, but providing opportunities to make a better life. And so that's certainly something that we're proud of. I want to thank Ms. Davis, thank Ms. Wiggins, our wraparound support coordinator. She knows everybody, and she leverages those relationships to create opportunities for our families, and we certainly appreciate the work that that team is doing. Our Connected to Careers is another component of our Georgia Power Grant Equity through Education Initiative, and this started with what was called Option B, the alternative graduation track. We just didn't like the name Option B. We said like it was less than Option A. So we branded it Connected to Careers. So it provides students with a fast track actually to high school graduation, where they take fewer traditional high school courses. They take a course set of high school courses, and then they take career-focused courses where they can earn 2 technical college credentials, or a technical college diploma, or an associate's degree, and have their high school diploma and those credentials. So we have 12 students who've already, in the 2025 cohort, who've already earned a credential from Auburn Technical College, 6 in carpentry, 1 in diesel mechanic, and 5 in welding. And I tell you what, those welders, once they get those credentials, they'll be in high demand as well as that diesel mechanic. Yeah, 23 students projected in the cohort to obtain their credential by November graduation at Auburn Tech. And then all of our students in the 2025 cohort have completed the onboarding process to get into FEPA Putney and work as in the clinicals as nurses' aides. And this program, Connected to Careers, powered by Georgia Power, has provided opportunities for 144 students to get paid internships, paid work-based training opportunities. And of course, the other part of that is the relevance piece of education is robotics. And with this funding from Georgia Power, we provide funding to our schools to support the robotics teams. I think high schools get 5,000. I think middle schools get 3,000, and then elementary schools get $2,000 to support the robotics teams. And we've gone through this one already. That was a level up. I had it done twice. The next, any questions about that? The equity through education piece. they apply. If they want to, we identify students who may want to participate in the connected to careers, and they apply for the work-based learning opportunities. And I don't think we've turned any down, have we, Mr. Davis? Yeah. So we still have an abundance of funds through Georgia Power. We hope one day that we have so many we have to cut the hours back. But we right now we have turned down any student. Every student who's applied has been accepted. And it is very important that we provide paid internships, because one thing that we have a situation where some of our students work part-time jobs to help make ends meet at home. And so although we had non-paid internships, they can't afford to take the non-paid internship that may be relevant for them in the future, because they need the funds for the part-time job to get through today. And so what we have been able to do through this partnership is provide a paid internship, so they don't have to choose between making extra money to help at home and getting relevant work-based learning experience. They can do both. So this is very impactful, and we're excited about the direction that we're going. We see our numbers increasing every year, and then we're working on a sustainability plan moving forward. Any other questions? All right. Finally, as we talked about, I think in September, we have made done some preliminary calculations on the property tax exemption initiative for seniors. Of course, to reiterate the request, remind you about the request, is a request for 100% exemption from all school board property taxes for citizens 65 years and older. The things that we're considering as we look through this request and prepare a recommendation for the board to consider. And it's taken longer than any of us really would like for it to take, but when we make the recommendation, we want to live with it. And I want to make sure that we're being very, very thorough and looking through all of our scenarios and options before we make a recommendation. But things we're going to consider are the benefits to the school system, the benefits of the school system for the entire community. It's not just for people who have students in the school system. As I just mentioned, the work-based learning opportunities, preparing our workforce for the future. They'll be working in healthcare. They'll be working in various industries that'll benefit everyone in the community. And so, to think that because you don't have children in school, you don't benefit from the school system is not really accurate. But we also understand that there's a financial burden on senior citizens, and that once they get to a certain age, they think, I paid school taxes for a long time, it's time for somebody else to do it. I get it. I had a conversation with my mother, believe it or not. and so we understand that, so we're going to consider that as well. We also, first and foremost, or last and foremost, I'm saving the most important thing for last, looking at the long-term financial stability of the school system. As I mentioned, the state health benefit employer portion is going to $19,000 a year, and that's a significant increase. And the increase alone, with everyone currently participates in the state health benefits plan, if they continue to participate and we match at that rate, that's going to be a 4.7% increase in our obligation. Not the total amount, that's the increase in our obligation. The TRS employer contribution, depending on how the stock market goes, at one time we were matching 12%, 13%, 14%. We had a dip in the stock market. Teacher retirement system has to be capitalized properly based on actuarial studies in order to be considered a solvent system. And so state law caps the employee portion at 6%. No matter what their financial need is, the employees would never pay more than 6% of their gross pay. There's no cap on the employer portion. And so right now, the employer portion is 19.98%. So just might say 20%. So we pay 20% of an employee's salary in retirement match. And that's increased significantly since 10 years ago. And it's been in the 19% range for the last 7 or 8 years. It dipped down briefly. We had a very strong stock market, but we had the dip recently. It's back up to 19.98, and it's scheduled to be that again next year. And then wage inflation. As you look at inflation in general, it's called wage inflation. As you can tell, is we look at the number of vacancies we have with our custodians and other employees who are on the lower end of the wage scale. We've made increases in their pay, and I think more increases are needed. And with a goal being at $15 as a minimum, and that's going to take resources. And if we're going to continue to do that, we have to be mindful of the fact that we're going to have the resources, financial resources, to sustain it. One thing you don't want to do is increase the wages and then have the furlough because you overextended yourself. So that's why it's taking a little longer than anyone would like. But we are being very thoughtful in our approach. We're looking at various scenarios because we bring a recommendation to the board. We want to make sure it's transparent so that citizens know considerations that we made, and we want to look at the projections and the basis for our projections. But also make sure that when we make this recommendation, that it's something that we can continue long term. And then, of course, when we look at the financial impact of what's requested, 100% exemption for 65 and over, the possibility of expanding the existing partial exemptions, maybe from a $10,000 exemption to a $20,000 exemption, maybe if your income is more than the current exemption provides, and then also they mentioned a payment plan so that a lot of these seniors, they own their homes, so they don't have the escrow payments. They have to pay it all at one time at the end of the year. And so we're working with the county to see if there's a way we can provide for payments throughout the year, advance payments, of course, throughout the year, so that it won't be a significant burden at the end of the year when they have to buy Christmas gifts for the grandkids and other gifts for the grandkids, holiday gifts for the grandkids. So and I get it. So we're looking at all those things, and we hope to have a recommendation to the board that we present within the next couple of months. If not, November and December are short months, so we're looking at January as a proposal.
Do we have any idea of what the financial impact is? I don't even know ballpark, you know?
I did some very rough projections because they don't keep they being the county tax department, they don't keep records on the age of the property owners. So we pull census data to look at the age of the percentage of the population, and so we're trying to extrapolate some data and make some assumptions based on that census data, and so we're going to do ranges, but and I want to throw a number out there because I guess the number gets stuck. We've had some discussions about it, but it's in the, if we do a 100% exemption, we think it's going to be in the millions of dollars. And is that sustainable? I don't know. But we're going to reserve a recommendation until we can provide you with information that we're comfortable with and the projections that we're comfortable with. Yeah. I think that's our fiduciary responsibility. All right, any more questions? All right. If not, just a few things. Of course, Saturday was Veterans Day, and we did our social media posting. We had our game. We had a kickoff for our high school basketball season, where our 3 high schools and Lee County, they played at ASU West. And during that time, we recognized veterans at each of those games, and we want to thank them for their service, for protecting our freedoms, and we want to make sure we recognize them at our board meeting as well. This is a picture of Ms. Huntley, who attended our Reach scholarship program along with me and our 4 Reach scholars from Albany Middle, Mary Acres Middle, Radium Springs Middle Magnet School of the Arts, and Robert A. Cross Middle Magnet School. These young ladies are the recipients of $10,000 college scholarships, minimum $10,000 college scholarships. That's funded partially by the Reach Foundation and by local match from our partners at Georgia Pacific. Again, this year provided the entire local match for these scholars on behalf of the school system. And as I mentioned during the program, some colleges in Georgia, they match the REACH scholarships, so they can get up to $20,000, and a few provide a double match. University of Georgia, Georgia Tech, they provide a double match, so we can be up to $30,000, depending on what school they go to. So that's a significant financial incentive to complete school to go on to college. And we want to congratulate these young ladies again and their families for this amazing achievement. Because our Thanksgiving holidays are next week, November 20th through the 24th. Our Thanksgiving luncheon is this Thursday, the 16th, and you're welcome to attend. And this month is Family and Community Engagement Month. I say that for last because we talk about the village that it takes to raise a child. Without support of our stakeholders, our families, the community stakeholders, we couldn't do what we do. The presentation about REACH, again, Georgia Pacific provided the match that's required for our local community. When we talk about the Level Up program, we talk about families who are getting upskilled and reskilled with job skills training that makes them more marketable in the market, in the job market, and can provide for a more stable home environment for their families, which positively impacts our students in the classroom. And then, of course, those companies who provide the internship opportunities for our students. All that's included in family and community engagement, and we're so thankful for our village in the Dougherty County community support our school system and our students and their families. And so I just want to make sure we took a moment to recognize them at our only board meeting for the month. Any questions or comments? We're rostering IXL right now, so it has not launched yet. We just approved that. I think a week ago. Yeah, so they're doing the rostering now through our single sign-on system. So we'll start that in earnest, hopefully over the Christmas break, over the winter holiday break, and into January. We'll monitor that. I haven't gotten that yet, but not sure yet. Right.
No, please.
Right. But we'll have that report at the next meeting. Yes. Yeah, we right. We working with Strive to Thrive, and they partner with Renaissance Bank, and there was another bank, I think, who else was it, Mr. Davis? I know Renaissance Bank was one of the partners, working with Strive to Thrive, who is one of our partners in our Family Resource Center that's on Corn. And so we're building that component into we have not done it yet, but we have a framework in place to put a financial literacy component into the Level Up program. Right. Right, exactly what we see. They start making about $40 grand a year. They start getting credit cards they can get access to, and start living a $60,000 a year lifestyle on a $40,000 salary, and then they end up in a bigger hole than before. So yeah, we're working on that. Yes, ma'am.
And the last part, the National High School Federation problem, I know we talked about it, and our system is over there that pictures our football games and stuff on TV. I've got several calls about it. They got the game top of their play.
They play that here. Yeah, the National Federation for High School Sports, they provide the cameras, and so if it's a picture quality issue, maybe with the camera or the network, it runs on network. But I will, if you provide me with specific concerns, I can go back and look at the date you said Columbus Monroe basketball football game.
Football game. They saw Thomas Field game. When they go down to Thomas Field, their camera, we'll talk about it. I got the game.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
All right, at this time, we will prepare for our regular board meeting. Three women stand for a moment of silence and the Pledge of Allegiance. All right. Thank you all for still being in attendance. Mr. Superintendent, do we have any further public comments or presentations? Can I get a motion to adopt the agenda?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion passes. Do we have any changes to the minutes for the October 26th meeting? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to approve a consent agenda, items 2 through 5B.
So
Move pool, second pool. Cause he said first, and so pool said second. I'll yield to the previous chairman.
She's gonna do both. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion passes. All right, if there is no further business or announcements, then I will entertain a motion to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? You got it, Pat. Sorry.
Okay.
All right, thank you all for being with us tonight. We're now